What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are going to be working on another 5th gen 4Runner. Here we are going to be replacing all of the exterior LED bulbs on this thing. So currently I have all the lights on to show you guys that they are still halogen, the old factory style, and let's just walk around the truck and show you guys that. Alright, so here it is, all factory goodness or not goodness. So of course we got the low beams, still stock. We got the turn signal, we got the side marker. We did change out the fog lights already to the Baja Designs amber fog lights, so that's no longer factory. But if you guys did want to change that out to LEDs, you guys can also use the exact same bulbs that are going to be in the headlights. So there's that. And then right here, this here, for those who do not know, this is actually on an earlier gen 4Runner. So this is actually Andrew's truck. What he did is that he actually did a facelift on this. He swapped out the bottom, or the bumper, and then he swapped out the headlights. So those two things made everything else compatible. So now it looks like the newer gen 4Runner, but this is actually a pre-2014 4Runner. So that being said, this is LED. For some reason Toyota made this LED, but not everything else. There is a light right there here as well, which is halogen as well. We're going to be swapping that out. And the reason, or the way you can tell it's LED or halogen, is just the way it blinks. So if you look at it, it turns on and off almost immediately, versus halogen, it kind of dims, comes off, dims off, and then comes back on. So that's a good way to tell if it's LED or not. Onto the rear. So we still have the factory rear turn signal, as you can see, comes on, dims off, comes back on. And then for those who don't know, the brake light, the running light is LED. So all these little dots, those are all LED. And then this little tiny pocket right here, that is the reverse light, not LED as well. So we're going to be swapping all that off, or all that out. And then lastly is going to be the halogen license plate bulb. And as you can see, one is already burnt out. So that one over there is burnt out. So we still got this one, which is super dim, partially because that lens that's on here is pretty dirty. The weather seal on that is not great, so you can kind of see the gunk that got up there from like car washes and rain and just dirt in general. I don't believe I'm missing anything on this, but yeah. So now if you guys have seen all of the lights that we're going to be swapping out, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here are all the bulbs we're going to be using today. Everything is the LEDs. These bulbs are pretty much top of the line. We have been using these for a while now, and they just outlast all the other LEDs out there, and they're actually brighter. All these are designed in California, I believe, and so they're super nice quality. And you can kind of tell the build is pretty sweet. I'll pop these open out of the bag to show you guys. But we'll start from here, go over there, show you guys, and tell you guys where they're going. Okay, starting from over here to there, we're going to talk about which ones and where they're going to go. So these ones here, these are going to be for the turn signal. And check out this build quality, super nice. I like it. That's going to be for the front turn signal. The next one is going to be for the side marker. These are going to be in amber. You can get it in white as well. It won't really matter because the actual lens on the headlight is amber. So you could do white or amber. Either way is going to turn out amber when you turn it on. This next one here is going to be for the mirror, under the mirror. So basically the spotlight that's gonna be under your mirror. basically shines on the floor. That way you can see where you're going when you open the door. So that's what these ones are going to be, and these ones are pretty much the same as that one, but they have more LEDs, so they're a little bit brighter. Great for when you need to find your truck. The next one, similar to the front, but these are going to be for the tail lights. So front and rear is going to be the same. These ones are going to be for the reverse lights, and these look super sweet. These are going to be super bright, and it looks super cool. And then these ones are going to be for the license plate lights. So same as the mirror, or the side view mirror lights. And then up here, these are going to be for the low beam. And then if we run into the issue of having hyper flash from the turn signals, we're going to need these resistors to basically prevent the hyper flash. And for those who don't know, hyper flash is when you install LED bulbs, and then your truck all of a sudden thinks that you have a burnt out light, just because LED pulls out less power. So your truck thinks that you have a bulb burnt out. So what that does, it just tells the system, hey, we're actually pulling the correct amount of power, so it prevents that super fast hyper flash. So with that being said, let's just get started. We'll probably work from front to back, and then yeah, let's go. So first we're going to start with the low beams on the passenger side. So these are pretty easily accessible. There's a cap right there. So Andrew's going to help us take it off. So I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. So go ahead and grab that. So basically we just got to turn it, and then it should pop off. And these are a little weird because they're like angled. So like the cap points that way. It's basically pointing this way, but the headlight is this way. So it shoots it at an angle. But this is what it looks like. So we'll unplug that. And then we can just set that off to the side and then plug the new one in. Okay, so we got that in. I wanted to show you guys something real quick. It does have this rubber grommet on it, so you will have to kind of push it and then lock it into place. And then on these, they have a big tab right there, so it has to line up with the big cutout on the actual on the housing. And then you tuck all of this inside of that housing before you close the cap. Now we're going to be doing the driver's side low beams. This one's a little bit tighter just because we have the battery here and a really dirty engine bay to work with, but it should be fine. So same thing, we got that cap just like that side. It might be really snug if you've never cracked it open before, and if your engine is as dirty as this, it's going to be a little bit hard. So if you need to get some channel locks or anything, you can do so, and it should pop open just like that. Take the old bulb out and then do the same thing you did to this side. Unplug it, plug the new one in, line up the cutout with the prongs that are on the bulbs themselves. Push it in, twist it, and should be good to go. Tuck everything in inside the housing, and you can kind of see here on this side. So we tucked it all in and everything's inside. Yours might look just a little bit different. Like I said, Andrew did a conversion on his, so it's not factory, but the headlight itself should look pretty much the same. So we are going to be doing the high beams as well. I didn't show you guys this before for a reason. So Andrew has a pre-2014 4Runner with the conversion of the new headlights from a 2014 Plus. So the reason I wouldn't do it if you guys have a 2014 plus is because you use the high beam partially as a daytime running light on anything 2014 and newer. Since Andrew is an older than a 2014, his won't use the high beam as a running light. And the reason you don't want to do it if you have a 2014 plus is because it flickers because it's LED. And I don't really have a video to show you guys, but I'm pretty sure you can find something on YouTube. But if you do want to replace it, you will flicker and it will be bright. You'll be blinding people on the road pretty much. But again, we're gonna do Andrew's. So since his is a pre-2014, it won't flicker or flash anybody when he has it, you know, just daytime running light running. So we're gonna open that up. We're gonna do the exact same thing. The high beam is actually easier than the low beam just because it's directly just right there. Twist the cap off, pull it off, and unplug it. And then just plug it in, just like that. Put it back in, same thing. If you're having trouble getting it in, look inside the housing itself. Find that cutout that has the big cutout. You'll know exactly what I mean when you look. Push it in, give it some pressure, and then tighten it. And then get your cap, put it back on. If you have a cap. Do you have a cap, Andrew? You don't have a cap? Okay, Andrew does not have a cap. Oh, okay, never mind. There is no cap. It's completely sealed. So disregard that. There is no cap on the high beam. So we're gonna do this side, same thing. We're not gonna show you this side just because it's basically the same thing. All right, so we're gonna have Andrew hop in, turn them on. Let's see how they look like. Grill lights. Low beam. Low beam. Low beam. There's the low beam. And high beam. And high beam. Boom, look at that. Super bright and the exact same color as the grill light and everything else. Very nice. So bright. Alright, cool. Shut them off. Sweet. Now Andrew can see in the dark. Alright, next we're going to be pulling out the turn signal on the passenger side. Andrew does have the Viper cut, so it makes it a lot easier since he doesn't have the liner there. But if you don't have the Viper cut and still have your liner... Oh, Andrew already pulled it out? That was quick. So yeah, there's that. So just unplug that. Plug in the new VLED, yep. And then just plug it back in there. Same thing with these ones. You do have to find the exact spot for them and just twist it. And there they are. But this wouldn't be as fast if you guys did have liner. You guys would have to unscrew a bunch of stuff and then yeah. We're gonna do the side marker next. So I'm just gonna reach up in there, twist it off. It's a little bit tighter. And getting it from underneath is probably the only possible way. You can't really do it from here. So this is what the side marker bulb is going to look like. So we unplugged it so we can show you guys what it looks like. So we just unplugged that and then we're going to plug that in. It is going to be pretty tight to get in there, so hopefully you have strong fingers. Now that you guys saw that side, we're going to do the same to this side. Pretty much the same thing though, nothing different at all, just because we're going to be able to reach up under there, grab that bolt or bulb and this bulb, and then just swap it out. Alright, next we're going to be doing the side view mirror here. So just push it all the way to one side, grab the corner, and then just pull it towards you, and it pops up. Super easy. So you can just let it dangle or you can unplug it. It's up to you. But the two main things we're getting is these two screws right here. So we'll get those off. Once we have those off, we just kind of wiggle this black piece around and then we can slowly pull that bottom part out. And then what we need to do is just twist and then replace that bulb with the LED one. And then before we put everything back together, let's test it first just to make sure it works. So this light will come on when you unlock it, so that way it lights up the floor. That way when you're walking towards it, it comes on. So we know that it works. I'm gonna go show you the other side real quick, the stock one. So here's the stock one. Orange, probably not as bright, definitely not as bright. And then, yeah, here's the new one. So we'll just put that back in the housing, line it up, and then lock it in place, and then just feed it back up in that hole. And then in the back of this black housing there is like a ledge that that gray part kind of sits on. It's kind of hard to show you guys, but once you guys do it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Once you have that snug, you can put the screws back on and then just tighten those down. The driver's side is going to be the exact same thing. There's no difference. So just follow that step, do the same, you'll be good to go. Alright, now we're going to be doing the rear. So we're going to be replacing this top one, which is the turn signal, and then this one, which is the reverse light. Like I said, the brake is LED already, so we don't need to do that. So let me hop in here so you guys can see. So we got the cover already off. That part's pretty easily done. You just gotta have like a flat head. So in here, that top one is going to be the turn signal, and the bottom one is going to be the reverse. So we're gonna do the exact same thing. Just grab it and twist it. So that is the reverse. I'm going to be replacing it with this one here. Yep. Plug it back in there and then twist it to lock. Alright, so I was kind of wrong. That middle one is not your turn signal. The turn signal is actually this one up here. Way up there. So reach your hand in there. All the way up top. Yep. Twist it, same thing. You should be able to reach it just fine, right? A little tricky. Doable. Cool. So, got the bulb out. Replace it. Let me see the bulb. Yep. Cool. All the way up there. Plug it in, put it in, lock it into place, and then we're going to show you guys a side-by-side comparison before we install the other side. Andrew's going to turn on the turn signals for us. Go ahead. So factory, you can tell right there. New LEDs. Super bright. You gotta let people know you want to come over, so blind them a little bit. Cool. You want to throw it in reverse real quick, Andrew? I'm going to show you reverse from side to side.
Throw it back, bro.
Factory. Not too bad, actually. But definitely not as bright. So yeah, if we were in the dark, we'll show you guys. But yeah, you can tell, huge difference. So cool. We're gonna do this side. Is the exact same thing. You pull that cover off, twist it out. All right. So most of you guys will probably get hyper flash when you guys are installing LEDs on both the front and the rear. So we're gonna show you guys how to fix it. So do the left side, driver side. Okay. So this is the side that we just fixed. Do the passenger. All right. So this is hyper flash. So basically the car or the truck doesn't know that you guys have LED bulbs in here, so it thinks there's a bulb out. So it flashes real quick to let you guys know one of the bulbs are out. So the fix is going to be right, where are we? Here we are. This piece right here. So this is a resistor. It's a fancy resistor. So you can get the resistors like on Amazon and stuff, but that is a lot more, I guess, ghetto rigged. But this will be a lot better. So this connection goes in. Everything is in here. So this is what it'll look like. So up there is the turn signal, and you can kind of see the tail that I have right up there. And then that resistor is right there mounted to the wall. And then it comes with this. It comes with double-sided tape, which we'll put in the back of that. And then it will also come with this part. So this will splice into the wires that we need to, and then we connect this end to that, and then that will tell the power that it's working just fine, so it won't hyper flash. So we're going to show you guys how to do it over here. I'm gonna get a light. Cool. Okay, so go ahead and take that turn signal out on top there. Okay, so it will have 2 wires, okay, which is exactly what we need. So grab this part of the resistor, open it, put it right in there, close it. And by the way, we did cut the insulation out or down a little bit, which is what this is. And then we'll just close it, grab a set of pliers. We will squeeze that together, making the connection. And then there is tabs on one side to show you guys, maybe if it'll focus, right there. So once that is closed, you know it's all the way down. And then go ahead and plug that into this part. It does go on only one way, so there's a line on top. So just connect that, push it all the way in. Once you have it pushed in all the way, go ahead and put your double-sided tape on the back side. Yep, just center it. Push it firmly down, and then we're going to install this first. So go ahead and install the bulb in first. Then we'll go ahead and peel the back side of this double-sided tape. Alright, and then we'll find a flat spot in here and we'll mount it. Basically on this side we went right there. That was the flattest spot, and it just runs straight down, so it doesn't really get kinked or anything like that. So we found that spot right there, which is perfectly flat. And just make sure you push it in well. Hold it in for about 20-30 seconds or so, and then we're good to go. Then just go ahead and put the cover back on both sides, and then we're done. Alright, now that we have both of the resistors in, we're going to test it out. Driver side, normal. Passenger side, also normal, so we're good to go. And then the fronts are obviously the same. So yeah, we're good. Okay, last bulbs we're going to be replacing is the license plate bulbs. So we'll need just a standard Phillips. Loosen it up. Alright, so we have gotten this off, but it was a pain in the ass. So Andrew's super rusty Phillips head were like crusted in there, so we needed a flathead to pry that down with a little bit of pressure while we were unscrewing it so it can come off. But LED sets off. Now we just pull that bulb off and replace it with the new one. And then that one wasn't even working, so we can't really show you a side-by-side comparison. But you guys saw from the beginning of the video, so we'll just swap the two out if we can even get that one out and show you guys what it looks like after. Alright guys, we're going to show you guys the license plate. That took us forever just because Andrew has super crusty and rusty screws. Go ahead, Andrew, turn them on. Oh yeah, much better. And we actually cleaned his lenses a little bit too, because they were like completely covered in just dirt and stuff. So now he has both lights, the doors open, so it's not as super noticeable, but yeah, looks good now. Alright guys, we are pretty much done with this install. I'm going to show you guys the lights. As you guys can see, we got the headlights on, the low and the high beam. We have the new turn signals on as well. And then we got the side markers right there. All that's looking good. This one down here doesn't come on when the truck is on. You got to be, the truck has to be unlocked, and then you have to lock it, and then pretty much unlock to walk up to it pretty much with the doors closed. Rear turn signals, you can tell, super bright on my face. Reverse light, I didn't flip that on because you got to be inside of it. And license plates, both of them. So now this truck is fully equipped with LED lighting from front to back. The entire outside, everything is LED. Yep, every single bulb. But yeah, we will have everything down in the description if you guys want to check it out. We did do a interior complete LED swap. If you guys want to look at that, I will probably put it in the top of this video or in the description somewhere, and you guys can check that out. But until then, we will see you guys next time. Peace.